Beep bop boop. Hello, everybody. How are we doing today? Alrighty. Let's see if the clean feed's working. Refresh the clean feed. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Give it to me. Yeah, it looks like clean feed might still be down. Worst comes to worst, I've always got this. But I'll keep that in the background. Alrighty. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Azukai here. I'm going to bring to you the day 5 of the Asia Pacific Division. We have two matches set up for tonight. We have the GNG versus Tessa, and then we have MGK, which should stand for Mugung Kingdom, versus EFF. I'm not sure what EFF stands for, but we have those two matches tonight. The first match should be starting in the next tens of minutes. Well, hopefully in the next tens of minutes. From what I know, these matches are still scheduled, so we should be running mostly on time. Very shortly, we should be heading towards the pick ban phase between GNG versus Tessa, so let's just wait for those to appear. Bounce, bounce. She can balance pretty well now. Looks like we have AB and PP King. Never heard of PP King before. Dun, dun, dun. Starting close to 8 o'clock right now. So, in the next 3 minutes or so, we should be seeing the pick band phase, and then we should be seeing the matches start off. So, what are your guys' predictions? Not seen Tessa. I mean, I've seen Tessa before, but not seen this other team, GNG. I have seen them during play in the play-ins. I heard. Did I watch them, or did I hear about them? Uh, Not really. I don't have a. I don't have some. I don't have a graphics for that. Hmm. Maybe I should make one, or maybe that's too much effort. But right now we have the Pickman phase between Tessa versus GNG. So I'm think if I can't be bothered, Hayes, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that. Tessa bans out Constantinopolis. Hey! Thanks, John Rima. Thanks for the subscribe. And welcome back. Come to watch the tournament with me? Now we got the ban for GNG. GNG bans out Harbor City. Interesting pick. Tessa has chosen Harbor City to attack before. So those are your picks and bans. I'm guessing it's going to be a double wall fort. You kind of classically see wall fort being chosen nearly by everyone. How many black iron sets for a sub? Wouldn't it? Wouldn't the real question be how many black iron sets do you get if you sub? So it is a double wall fort, just as I predicted. It's pretty much one of the most common maps you'll see, if not the most common map you'll ever see. Wall fort is, yeah, classically is extremely predictable. Very safe map because it's been played quite a bit. Trust me, Hayes, I'll be just in the background. I will literally just be creating armor sets in the background. The only thing we're lacking right now is a little bit of the quenching potions. We have enough sets of armor to go on for days right now. But enough about Myth of Empires. We have a battle between Tessa versus GNG. I do believe Tessa might have the more experience since we have seen them in previous tournaments. But GNG did have a good showing during the play-ins, so I'm hoping these guys can put up a nice fight. Again, I love watching tournaments who have quite spectacular tactics and battles, but when it's a one-sided stomp, it's not very entertaining. Classically, that's what I would give. How did Ecliptos go? Ecliptos do, by the way? Ecliptos would have been the boss guys? Or no, hang on. Let me just double check. You're tracking down Ecliptos. They beat out Chinese Red in the they beat out Chinese Red in the first round of eliminations. So right now, their next match is a bypass. They actually skipped the second round eliminations. So lucky them. We'll get to see them in the top 8. Oopsie daisy, what did I just do? Alrighty, we have Wall Fort coming up, folks. Who is attacking? Who is defending? I'm wondering that myself. We have Tessa attacking and GNG defending. Tessa going in with quite a few golden tier units. Very interesting to see the tier 5, tier 4, and then the tier 1. Normally you would go with the double tier 5 just for efficiency. And we only have one. Whoa! What is this? One of the Tesla players going in with halberdiers, not even Alp halberdiers, just regular halberdiers. This interesting Keshig halberdiers and ball thrower combo. But GNG going very heavy on the tier 5s. Lots of heavy infantry coming out from GNG. Might go on a wall defense, an all in on the wall. But we will see as the battle will start. The tactic for a all in on the wall would normally suggest that, well, this much of heavy infantry would suggest that they would go for a wall defense, but they have to set up two key conditions. So first condition is the B-side bridge should get broken down, and we should see that very different conferences. Well, I mean, Tessa going out with a lot of spears. People keep telling me that spears been nerfed into the gutter. I simply disagree. Spears are very effective when you know how to use them. Again, when you're working as a team, maybe you'll survive one spear, but you'll never survive 10 spears all jumping on your face. We got some Halberdier Sergeants coming out from G&G here, defending the front B-side fort wall. Interesting placement of these units. Also, Halberdier Sergeants coming out from Tessa. Tessa throws up the Halberdier Sergeants. This is basically a death sentence. Good treb on a high tier unit, but unfortunately lands shallow. Whoa! One of them lands dead center in the formation. Good hit, good hit. But Halberdier Sergeant is probably going to get smashed to pieces as the heroes bypass it. Whoa! Halberdier Sergeants just annihilate those guys on the ladders. GNG being very careful. They have still lost two of their guys. This Halberdier Sergeant will disappear in mere seconds as four heroes decimated into oblivion. I'm not sure how safe this B side is, but I do hope it is low, low, low. But we have some hidden mortars behind on the stairs, heading towards B side. So that is a classic position that is very safe, untreppable for those mortars. Also can be used to shoot towards the siege tower on the left here, eventually. Another treb. A bit of a waste here, mainly because you already lost the bridge. Interesting to see that the mortars are coming out for Tessa, going to counteract the culverins being placed up on the B-side wall. This is a counter tactic. I thought I thought culverins here on the high wall was basically impervious, but as these guys are showing us right now, they definitely know how to take these things out. Mortars are firing a bit shallow, not a direct hit, but probably hit by explosion. Oh my goodness. Myth of Empires in the background. I'm sorry. Otherwise, there's no sound for this because clean feed not coming through, and I've cut out the I've muted the thing, so you really got no sound right now. That's unfortunate, but battle still rages on. The siege towers have been destroyed several times already. I believe this will be the third generation siege towers, at least chugging along for the right side. Probably still on the second generation siege towers for the front one. Lots of time being gained as well. I mean, lots of time being wasted as well as Tessa waits for these siege towers to get up. They will have to get second generation siege towers up, or at least this third generation right hand siege tower needs to get up. Otherwise, they will have a lot, not have very much time to attack. Down goes middle siege tower. Middle siege towers are getting taken down, so the left hand siege tower should be close. Interesting treb. Classic. In retrospect, I am playing Myth of Empires while I'm also commentating for this. Whoa! We got a musket on the ground here. Look how many spears just collapse on his face. Down he goes. G&G, you gotta be very careful. Every single death is extremely important. But it does look like an all-in on the A point could be the winner here for GNG. Gotta just make sure that Tessa does not do anything. Left-hand siege tower might get up, though. No more culverin shots by the looks of it. Does make it to the wall. So this left-hand siege tower, not very good. Although it is an access up onto the wall, it's not the best of options. I would rather a different siege tower, especially the one on the right. The one on the right is crucial and much safer. But no preparation from Tessa. So they don't look to see. They seem to not want to go up the left-hand side, but they will have. They will choose to do it if they have to. And as time ticks down, we got 5 minutes left of this game. Tessa has not been able to do anything against GN. Haven't been able to really break through GNG's defense on the wall right now. I believe GNG has already used up. Whoa! Two more gold runes just went down. Looks like they are trying their best to take out that middle siege tower yet again. The right-hand siege tower, did it get destroyed or is it not moving? Because it looks like it's not moving to me. That's very unfortunate for that siege tower. I'm not sure if it's bugged or not. But Tessa is gearing up for a push. They are banking on this middle siege tower, but if the middle siege tower gets destroyed on the approach, it's going to be absolutely just devastating for Tessa's strategy. Again, when you're down to this much time, 4 minutes to go, this is basically a all-in push. If you lose this push, you basically lose the game. Zero time. If GNG does do what I think it's going to do, it's going to go for an all-in on this A point, just brute force it. Iron Reapers for days. Iron Reapers do go toe-to-toe with Axe Raiders. Axe Raiders are very good at at beating out any units that are basically not tier 5 golden tiers. Wow, sacrifices his life trying to slow down the siege tower. Does slow it down just a little bit. More time is wasted, but the convergence has begun. Looks like GNG is not prepared to be on top of this wall just yet. A little bit of a cap, a little bit of a throw here. Axe Raiders going at each other. But here comes a Treb all in from this left-hand side. Looks like a sandwich going to be happening in the A point. Wow, massive ballista commitment coming out from Tessa. Very good idea. You got to all in this, so you got to use the tools. Bam! Down goes one of GNG's members, but someone just fell off the wall just now. We've got some Iron Reapers and some Axe Raiders coming in for Tessa. This A point doesn't look very much defended. Here's some. Wow, we also have some Nafan guards in the back. Those Nafan guards will definitely be very annoying. Oh, already we got heroes sacrificing their lives to get close. Massive Treb, absolutely devastating Treb, if I do say so. But that Iron Reaper and Axe Raider combo is more devastating than anything else. Tessa absolutely dominating here, but a push from the right hand side stairs. GNG gets back on the point. Big Treb happens yet again. Tessa's down to just one Treb left. Medals hold strong against the tidal wave of units up here right now, but one by one they do fall. Looks like we got 2 heroes left. 4 heroes. No, 2 heroes are en route. Looks like we just got this short sword here on the left-hand side. We have some Iron Reapers also make it to the point. Let's see if they can turn the tide against these Axe Raiders. Axe Raiders doing an amazing job surviving, but whoa, Iron Reapers are leaving the field, but Tessa does seem to be pushed out. Where are the units? Fort Russia is pulled up for Tessa here on the left-hand side. We got heaps of medals though. That Fort Russia is going to be deleted almost instantly. Tessa has failed the push, and this is just a desperation push right now. 2 people going after the spear, heading towards the B point, so that will be closed off. Medals popping up for Tessa, but it'll be a long-ass fight. You got 2 sets of medals, 3 sets of medals, fighting it off, and some Axe Raiders. Probably 4 sets of medals, really. Whoa! Also, a nice squeeze here. You got to rock in a hard place. You got to turn the corner when you come up with the siege tower, and you're gonna pack up like crazy. Look at these heroes go. Absolutely nailing these medals into oblivion. And chop, chop, chop. All gone. GNG doing an amazing job for an all-in. Does look like cavalry are on the field for Tessa. Tessa's probably run out of infantry now. That's going to be very upsetting. We've got 40 seconds left to go. But with all the trebs used up, Tessa has basically no additional assets ready to go. Both sides of the siege tower also getting blocked. Very well done. Just throwing in units. Imperial Pike upstairs is pretty awful, if I do say so. But you gotta have to do what you gotta have to do. Iron Reapers charged right in. What's a good doorstopper? An Iron Reaper or a Medal. But nicely done. I'm going to call it there for GNG. GNG doing an amazing job for an all-in for the A. I thought they would have lost it when Tessa got up on that point, but realistically, the main issue for Tessa was that the Axe Raiders are not very good at holding position. They are good at assaulting and definitely wrecking your shit. Sorry if I missed your chat, John Rima and RX. Probably you guys talking to yourself. Oh my god, the resupply is so long. They cooked. I was wrong. Very, very much indeed. The Tesla had no staying power, so they couldn't isolate the A point. But GNG did an amazing job. Just a couple of heroes being able to buy off just enough time for the mass reinforcements. Again, both sides will have even amount of time to reinforce their teams, but Tessa has to stay on point. This is the most important thing. GNG only needs to be able to distract Tessa long enough for their reinforcements to come in. So their rotation was much better, but in the end, only one can be the winner. GNG winning the defense here, so we'll get to see another wall fort. This time GNG is attacking. Tessa, I think I've just missed out a little bit of your score just now, but we're looking at the GNG score just here. As you would expect, lots of kills coming out from Tessa, though. We got 5 kills here on one of the spears. We got 3, 2, 2. But we also have this longbow Nomo from GNG doing 4 kills with a longbow. Nicely done. Probably going to have some great plays from this guy. Maybe. I'm not sure whether or not I will ever go back into the tournament. I much rather commentate for the tournament, so I will definitely support you guys if you do run for the tournament. Whether or not I am keen enough to do ranked that hard, whether or not I'm keen to do ranked that hard, this demonstration of this season is kind of told me that I'm not that hardcore. So I do think I'll sit out on the push for ranked. But nonetheless, I will support you with everything I can, and I do hope you guys do make it to the tournament with 15 of our members, if not 15 people that you trust with your back. It's a no. No! Why did you make me do this? That is the nicest no. I hate you. Why is this guy named PPK? I have no idea. Like I think it's a funny name. I think they tried to play it up as a funny name, but maybe it has a different meaning in the language they are native to because AV never really a nay nah yeah nah yeah nah yeah nah yeah nah man. But from what I've seen of the leaks, it does seem to be going to be I think it's going to be Scotland, something related to a Scotland theme next season. So that's very interesting. I do hope we get to see the Vassal Longbowmen come back. Just be, don't steal my PP King. Don't steal my PP. Nice spam, Haze. Why you got to do this? Like, why you got to do me like this? GNG. Well, talking back to the tournament. GNG doing very well, do I say, have to say, for that defense. But at the same time, Tessa, no slouch, throwing in the Axe Raiders and brute forcing it with those, the few Iron Reapers they did have. They brought out the Medals a bit too late, I believe. You're putting in the baby monitor? Is she asleep? Oh man, if it's an actual dog unit, that would be interesting. But someone said that the paw is a lion's paw, or quote unquote a lion's paw. I'm not sure if people can recognize what a paw print from which animal a paw print is from. They all just look like a paw print, so I assume it's some kind of quadruped when I just see that kind of paw print. It's a wombat paw! Maybe. I have no idea. I'm pretty sure we'll get some more information every single day until they do a full teaser release. I do think they will drop the trailer just before the semifinals next week. So I'm very keen to see what the kind of units they're going to bring in next season. I'm always keen about new stuff. It's always just a habit. You got to get that content drop, otherwise it's not going to be very interesting. A little bit of a long wait between the two battles here. We should be seeing the next set coming up very shortly, but other than that, just probably just waiting. The Lion's Rampant is the royal standard of the King or Queen of Scott, and is the personal banner of the monarch. The Lion's Rampart flag depicts a lion, the king of the beasts, rearing up with three of his paws outstretched as if in battle. Well, shit, might be a lion. The lion's den. Well, from the pictures, we had the paw print, we had the arrow. The interesting thing is the arrow. I'm always interested in why the arrow, because if we are getting the tier 5 longbow, that will be very interesting to see that they are coming in this Scottish theme. And also being the tier 5, I'm just wondering whether or not there's going to be also more than 3 units. The classic tier 3, tier 4, and tier 5. Yes, it will be interesting. Now, I don't doubt that Scotland could be related to the tier 5 longbow. Highlanders are Norman, not Celt. Highlanders? Really? That's a bit of history for you, apparently. Highlanders are Normans who moved into Scotland, so they're not the Celts who were the native population at the time. Anyway, looks like a baby's crying and my mother's on the job. But luckily, we don't have to deal with that. Wall fort is coming, though. We got GNG attacking while Tessa defending. We did see GNG do a good all-in on the A point here. Very well done from the last job, but a nice change of setup here. We got lots of tier 4s coming out from GNG this time. This is a big switch up from their Iron Reaper heavy team. We also see plenty of Tessa also doing something similar. I'm very interested to always know the Axe Raider, Halberdier Sergeants, and the Tundra Human setup. But we got a couple of double tier 5s coming out from Tessa. It's kind of weird to me that people would go out with the 1 tier 5, 1 tier 4, and 1 tier 3 setup. It just seems a little bit strange. Well, considering Keshigs are way more stronger, it does seem a little bit of a kind of unfortunate eventuality that the Tundra humans are actually quite useless nowadays, even though they have one of the most broken ass skills in the game. Patrol is pretty much the kingpin of all cavalry. If imagine if any other cavalry had patrol, it would just be it would yes. I mean, Keshiks is not technically new cavalry. Keshik just got a new ability, which just makes it very good at just annihilating stuff. They just made Keshik actually be able to deal damage. Well, classically, push towards the B side small fort, and we also have all of the siege towers being pushed up. Doesn't look like GNG has made much progress on the B side, and Tussa is also holding with Halberdier Sergeants. Very interested to always see that the Halberdier Sergeants are always the front runner when holding ladders. A bit late on the push on the siege ram here on the B side. We got not very much difference between the approaches between the two teams so far. Nothing interesting. But this time, no sacrifices coming out from GNG, so they're playing it a bit safer. Although, massive retreat coming out, so they're going to come up. We got 4 heroes up on the wall. Does look like Tessa. Most of Tessa's units have made it out, any of the high valued one, trying their best to catch some of the how many sergeants there. GNG relying on their heroes get on the wall to destroy the cannons instead. Probably more efficient than using mortars or their counter uh, or trebs in order to take those out. Cataphracts are still too weak, in my opinion. I'm a bit of Cataphract update was a bit of hit and miss, mainly because the usability is still low, and just generally their impact is still low. I mean, it's also because of limiting factors such as medals, like just medals. Axe rate is also being very limiting factor. It's yeah, they get like Cataphract get beaten up by anyone. I mean, like it's kind of ridiculous. Oh yeah, that's a good point as well. Cataphracts cost 310 or 320 was it? At the present time, they only cost 260, which is okay, but it's again not the greatest. Not all the time. Cataphracts have very limited. Not all the time. I mean, like I'd still rely on monastic knights to punch a hole better than a cataphract could. Although you have 21 units of the cataphracts, it's just more numbers versus like at least a monastic knight, even without charge, would still put up a better fight than a cataphract in charge. I've seen many times where they just can't. Their charge just stops. They don't even work properly in melee and return charge. They stink. Ah, yeah, stinky boys. Again, it's just usability. It's so awful. Using the cataphracts is pretty awful. But we have a small push into the wall here. I'm talking about cataphracts here when I should be talking about the match. GNG grabs the A point here. I think I just missed most of the action here. Going in through the front gate and the broken wall. Easily manhandles the front gate and gets up on the wall from the right hand side. But they lose a medal as a rear guard. Moving on to the second phase. Not a lot of time was gained, but a good defense from Tessa so far. Massive losses by the looks of it. Tessa losing out quite a few units if I do check, but I'm not sure what those units were. Could be worthless units, could be high tier units. But we should have a full swing now. The battle to decide the C point is normally crucial. I've never seen um, I've never seen a partial defense like this end up in the defender's favor. You either go all in on the defense of A or you let A go. It's a kind of hit and miss tactic, mainly because if you do not summon your full strength, you're just letting a small bit of your strength go a little bit at a time. Keshigs may be overtuned, but I'll be honest, they kind of needed to be overtuned in order to even compete. It's just that kind of world we live in, where medals exist and cavalry is almost worthless when you see just a single medal. When you see a Forte sometimes you can bypass them, sometimes you can come from a different angle, but when you see a medal coming from behind, coming from the front, coming from the side, the medal is just going to poke your ass and you're just going to have a bad day, bad day. GNG moving down towards the supply point and C point. Tessa is split between the B point and the C point. Very, very bad positioning here, I think, from Tessa, but probably tactically sound. Wow, we have a Metallitor overwatching the entire area. This is an amazing position, actually. Shoot out the mortar. I would definitely have those Metallicors shoot out the mortar. Massive hit, big hit from another mortar. GNG, I would back off. You should not force this. You have taken massive beating, lots of beating. Back off. You know the position of the enemy. All inning in this condition will end up in an instant loss. Tesla probably has all the advantages here right now. Down goes that mortar. We still have the Overwatch big throw here. Gonna end up with a massive explosion. An all in on the supply point, swings back around. Tesla's going to straight up go for the throat here, forcing them out, way out. Another big throw by explosive javelins. Again, this is a little bit of a risk. We've got Imperial Pike March coming out from Tessa. All of the Javelin Cavalry. We got one set, two sets of Medal, three sets of Medal. Another Imperial Pike marching up. Wait, Stars coming through. Doesn't make it. Oh, kind of gets stopped on its way. The Medals and the Fortibraccios pull up, holding as best they can. Another Winged Stars plows right through. Actually makes it into the enemy formation. GNG is doing an amazing job staying on this supply point with a single set of Medal and several heroes, but it does look like Keshig came up behind them? Yes, indeed. Keshig came up and slaughtered the rear guard, but another Keshig coming out from GNG slaughters the units on the supply point here, but only 6 members from GNG are left on the field. This is a complete wipe as 12 members from Tessa is on the field still. This is very upsetting for GNG. Again, GNG should definitely not have taken that engagement after that heavy skirmish, taking mortar shot and Metallitor shots. What an engagement. That was pretty fast paced, but definitely a mistake by GNG, walking straight into an Imperial Pike March, followed by a second Imperial Pike March, and the several Medals holding the position, giving Tessa the edge in the battle as GNG just ground down their frontline forces. We have a Medal here trying to leave the area, but doesn't look like this Pike to say, wants to let them get out scot-free. Power creep is definitely a killer of games. Developers need to be careful when they introduce new mechanics, new tactics. New mechanics, new abilities, new powers. Every single time, I keep seeing units like Odin Berserkers, like Tundra Humans, like Axe Raiders, Greyhair Garrison as well. All 4 of those units are symptomatic of overloaded kits. They're doing too many things in such a way that just alone it wouldn't be powerful, but together it is ridiculous. We got some close range Metallictors shooting directly here at the broken wall. Axe Raiders run straight forward. GNG going in with a full-on sacrifice. We also have some Russian Wild Flames turning up the heat here with some oil pots right now. Axe Raiders going straight for the formation. Nice stop of those Tundra Humans. Those spears went straight for the Tundra Humans, trying to block, but the Axe Raiders clear up the ranged units just now. Most of the infantry Keshigs rock up. What the heck? I can barely see anything through the smoke, but it does look like the advantage is turning in the tide of GNG. The frontal defense here is being broken down. Keshigs move back. Heavy losses both sides, but looking back again, Tessa has lost way more over the course of the battles. Kessa going to lose out the B point here, can't defend it, and pushing back is a wall of Medals. A nice push, I must say, mostly between mass and abilities. But Tessa coming out with the weak surf units, probably going to lose out in the end. Again, Tessa sacrificing a couple of the higher tier units during the A section is probably what's killing them here. Also, the losses are definitely mounting. Look at them go. We only got a couple of Medals left, and an all-in towards the C point is going to happen. Whoa! Did you just watch all of those Metallictors just get deleted? But wow, Tundra Humans coming in from the right-hand side, plows right through the front, through the side of the front line here. Halberdier Sergeants also doing their job to fight off against the cavalry, but there's so much cavalry on the field. I do not think massive rout a second time for GNG. Tessa is doing wonders with their cavalry right now. I don't think GNG's got what it takes to perform a third attack. They have lots of resources, and a lot of resources. It could be weak. It could be the tier 0. Tessa not going to let them rest though as they sally forth. Tessa is going in for the kill. They're going to finish off GNG just by killing their heroes. As I said before, Tessa did show a good kill potential even when they were on the attack, but even more so when they're on the defense. They're like piranhas waiting for meat, and now they have been let go free of their chains as they move forward. But a blockade of nothing right now. The village watchman just kind of just left just now. I don't know why those 100 humans just go straight in, but here comes a charge. Pulls the charge off halfway through as they walk back, trying to save their lives. A bit of a sacrifice here. Medal's in the mix. A charge by the Halberdier Sergeants gets absolutely decimated by the 100 humans, so they need to be embraced. Here comes some Keshigs coming up from this behind. This is a slaughter, keeping the Keshig in the rear as the 100 humans forces their way through. This is not good for GNG. GNG probably doesn't have very many high tier units left. As you can see, the unit count has swung massively in favor of Tessa, as probably all of the Surf units are getting slaughtered as we speak. And not to mention, Tessa is still down 7 heroes, 6 now. But the C point is getting grabbed. Even if the C point gets grabbed, it's still a base point. So you need to somehow turn the tide of the units here for Tessa. What? It's over already. Yes. Tessa's don't have more units. Nah, Tessa's in it to win it, man. Tessa's gonna win. Ra'uik. Tessa's gonna win. You gotta, not only do you count units, you gotta account for what type of units. And for sure, high tier cavalry is still on the field. Tessa doing an amazing job keeping these high tier cavalry alive. And only one hero left from GNG left on the field right now. 9 trebs, 313 units, probably all worthless right now as the last of the GNG gets slaughtered. But it does mean someone has a capable respawn, because usually when the defenders are completely out, there is an instant win for the defenders. There is Nomo spawning in, probably going to be the last kill of the game, probably going to see a instant win. It was a good defense, grinding down GNG, but GNG making quite a few mistakes there, and not a good look, if I do say so, from their control of the A point before. But I think I give them too much credit for their defense, and definitely not giving Tessa the benefit of the doubt. They are pretty much more aggressive than GNG, but both teams are extremely aggressive, but GNG just does not have the hero capability that Tessa does. A Treb hitting low on their guys, that's not a good look. 2 short swords and a spear surviving here towards this C point. Gonna get cleaned up by 1 Keshig. 2 Keshigs come up now. Although they are half squads, they are still Keshigs. They will slap your face and chop it to pieces. Well, folks, I do have to call it there. There's no way that GNG can pull a victory now in this situation. Too many of them are dead. Too many units, too many of the high tier units gone. And so I'm going to have to call it the battle of the next century. We are going to have, a tiebreaker on Grassland Assault between Tessa and GNG. Tessa just waiting on the last few heroes to just force spawn and murder them. Could end this quickly by either leaving or dying. Would be much preferred than the defending team waiting. I have seen a sally out before, and just to avoid death is not a dying should not be shameful. Not trying is probably the I would give you shame for trying. I mean, not trying. But there we go. The battle has ended for GNG versus Tessa, with GNG attacking. So 1-1 for both teams. We got we're going to now see the, how to say, we are going to see a field battle between the two. There's going to be a spear crew from Tessa. Definitely going to see a spear crew. But then again, we have a couple of spears coming out from GNG, but not as many from Tessa. It is quite critical to see that Tessa comes out with more spear players, better spear players, do I might add. Look at those kills. 8, 7, 2, 4, 8, 0, 5, 3. Lots of kills coming out for Tessa. As I said before, Tessa has shown their hero killing potential, and even now on the defense, even more now so on the defense, and their aggressiveness in their tactics when the enemy makes a mistake. GNG in this case making the massive mistake of the force push towards the supply point and the force push towards the broken set of walls. You really got to be careful when you are attacking, because a wrong move, a wrong setup could lead into an instant defeat. And that setup there for the both pushes were just bad. So for my prediction as well, I'm going to have to agree with John Rima that the spear crew from Tessa is going to take it for the win, but we're going to have to wait and see. We're going to have to wait for the results by watching the actual match. Hopefully we get to see something interesting, but otherwise I'm pretty sure that the cav play is in Tessa's favor. Show me what you got. Hmm. Clean feed's still not working for me, so I'm just going to rely on the developer stream. So hopefully the developer stream doesn't crash on me. That would be pretty sad. Oh no, don't do this to me. Oh yeah, okay. Hopefully my source of the feed is not going to fritz on me. Or maybe it can. Hey! My clean feed's working. I don't need that. I don't need the developer stream anymore. But I'll keep it up just in case. Just in case I go down. The kind of halftime between the matches is a little bit longer than I would expect. I thought the two teams would probably have less time, mainly because the battles do go on for 15, maybe 20 minutes, and if we do come down to a tiebreaker, we will be going into overtime, and the next set of matches will probably be delayed. So it's probably going to be a long stream tonight. So uh, let's hope the Grassland Assault does not take up too much time. But at the same time, I do want to see something interesting. Nothing worse than a boring field battle. I don't ever like watching Emerald River. I can't believe they have that for the play-ins. It's so weird. Yeah, so weird for the play-ins to have it on Emerald River. I don't think anyone practices on Emerald River. Alrighty, we have Grassland Assault coming right up, folks. Let's see if G&G can pull back the defeat that they just suffered on their attack, or will Tessa dominate with their showing, definitely with their showing of cavalry? Both teams going in with a interesting set of units. Both Medals set up, but the Keshig galore is quite high. I'm not sure about this Royal Janissary though. Royal Janissaries and Cataphracts. I kind of think this guy from Tessa is kind of throwing it. We also have a interesting Northern Lands Cavalry and all of the spears. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 spears coming out from Tessa. Only 5 coming out from G&G. G&G also in more sync here. We got all of the Minotaur faces. Interesting setup for the beginning. We got a move by G&G going for the C side and the B side. No one going for the A side. Massive risk, as we can see here. Tessa going straight for the A. Is this going to be a sacrifice? Going to go toe-to-toe here at C. As long as they don't grab C, hold the B point, and if they grab the C point, it will be flipped on Tessa. Tessa's got everyone up here at A. They're slowing down, so that means they're expecting a fight, but they have not recognized that there is no fight here at A. They need to grab A, move up to B right now, because this C point's going to get stopped. We got some Keshik going straight in. We got Medals a bit late, but the Medals are going to chop those Keshiks in half. So many Medals really need to push on forward here. Sacrificing the C point in this scenario is a bad move. You can definitely outmass them, as you can already see. We got 4 or 5 units oncoming. Might be an all-in towards the base point. The B point is completely surrounded, though. Keshigs swarming up. Activate the 2, and they just slaughter the Medals. The Medals just fall to pieces. The C point will be grabbed, but how long can the B point last? I'm not sure who's on the B point right now. It needs to be reset. A point also being grabbed. Wow, what a swing towards both hand sides. GNG and Tessa doing both using very interesting. GNG doing a very interesting tactic right here. This A point This A point could have been stopped if someone did, if one of the two spears didn't slow down. Opens, but they do realize that they opened the base point. That's 2 minutes of open base point. A little bit of cap coming out from, whoa, double cap coming out. A little bit of cap coming out from GNG. The base point is being capped by something. One of the heroes are already there towards the base point. So more pressure towards the base point is going to happen. They're going to grab A yet again. We got GNG, both teams just going straight for the enemy base points, and they're going to clock down the gonna try to clock down the bases. We have the A point going back in favor of Tessa. The cavalry definitely both sides doing their best to try to slow down the enemy. It will be interesting if A point does not get capped at this point. It's not being capped right now. More guys are on. My goodness, now we have a cap from GNG. More guys are on GNGs. They're just going straight in. My goodness. It's a little bit in favor of GNG. This is basically an all in on both teams. Both teams just going all in. This is going to be a quick match. An amazing Winger Sa saves the base point. And Tessa fails here at the base point here. They're already down way further, and more units just keep popping up as respawns come in. But GNG takes the victory on Grassland Assault. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm not sure what to say. It's just both teams going for the all in. Wow, I'm not sure whether or not GNG was just more lucky or whether or not they just pulled it off. It's just very fast match, very quick. I might add that was 3 minutes. That was 3 minutes. We went in at 8:49 and it is 8:52 right now. That was quick. Oh my goodness. Tessa, again, lots of assists and probably a couple of kills, but the battle went on so quickly. I'm not sure what to say. GNG definitely being way more brutal in their just throwing their lives away. Also, massive pickup. I mean, like, did you see that last-minute Wing Desart charge coming out from GNG on the respawn? That respawn with the Wing Desart charge just slicing right through Tessa. I think the difference here is that GNG actually had medals on Tessa's base point, where Tessa didn't have any medals on GNG's base point. So at the beginning, although Tessa having the advantage in points, GNG definitely had the more secured approach. It was Nani do. What? Yeah, what did I just watch? I'm kind of gobsmacked as well. It's just, whew, that was fast. That was so fast. Both teams doing the all-in risky play, the riskiest of risky play I've ever seen. My goodness, like, I don't know how GNG stayed calm under pressure like that. It was insane. They left A. Do mind, they left A. They left A for Tessa to grab. They didn't throw any units at it at the beginning. They had discipline, and they held back towards the supply point. And all of their forces went to B. They thought it was going to be an all-in B. And then they had a couple of guys contest C. When the B was capped, all of them just went to C. And what was amazing is that everyone from Tessa's side went down to B side. And I'm not sure. It was just quite insane. It was just what happened. It was like Tessa, like it's like Tessa didn't know what to do, because they were grabbing the B point, they were grabbing the A point. They didn't know if to go back to the C point, defend their base point, because they didn't think they would lose A. One of the most important things, they lost A, giving both sides opening up the base. 2 minutes. It takes less than 2 minutes to cap the base. What an amazing show. Excellent job for GNG. and definitely an excellent job from Tessa. I think GNG is going to show us more surprises, and I do hope they show us more surprises like that. That was an amazing fight. But I think we have a little bit of a break time as we wait for the MGK, otherwise Mugun Kingdom, versus EFF match. I'll catch you guys in about 5 minutes as I grab some water. So, see you in a bit. Bye now. Alrighty, I'm back, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed the silence without me. Gonna just reset my clean feed here. Gonna pull up the. Hopefully, the clean feed comes back. We are kind of missing the pickman phase for. Come on. There we go. Pickman phase for Mugun Kingdom versus EFF. Mugun Kingdom bans out Harbor City. Interesting, interesting, interesting. What are you going to ban out, EFF? EFF bans out Constantinopolis. Interesting to see that Constantinopolis and Harbour City were both banned out today by both matches. Interesting to see that Constantinopolis is even on the table. We got a wall fort, probably a second wall fort coming right up. EFF going for a wall fort, are we? Yes, it is a double wall fort yet again. Wall fort very common. I wonder if anyone's just going to ban wall fort and let's see a different map. But anyway, this is the map that the teams have picked. So we're gonna have to deal with it. So still, classic strategies for wall fort are still the rush B-side bridge, sacrifice if you go make it across the other side. Otherwise, we also have the siege towers pushed up towards the A-side wall. We've seen a rush between the broken wall and the front gate. You push in through those, come clean up the bottom side, grab the B side by going up the stairs instead, or you could switch to the A side, either or once you're inside. The key here is getting inside is probably the important thing. I do hope Mugun Kingdom and EFF can give us a good showing. But if I know my Mugun Kingdom, they are quite a strong team. I'm not sure about EFF. I'm not sure if I can't remember whether or not I watched their battles. I'm hearing a bing. Where is that coming from? Try that again? No. I don't know. I was hearing like a bing again. I'm going. No, it was definitely in my earphone, so it's coming from my computer. Something is triggering a bing, and I don't know what it is. And I'm not crazy. You're crazy. But here we go. We got Wall Fort coming right up, folks, between Mugun Kingdom and EFF. You guys can hear that bing as well. Please tell me if you can, because I am very, very weirded out where that's coming from. But let's take a look at the units coming out from both of the teams. We have Mugun Kingdom going out with a couple of double tier 5s. This is best lineup here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys coming out with a little bit of a different lineup. Again, probably not enough Imperial Pikes. We only see around about 4 of them coming out from Mugun Kingdom. Coming out from EFF, we also have a mixture of things, 3 Imperial Pikes at the very least, but still kind of shaky on the number of medals. And again, where's that coming from? I hope you guys are not hearing that. I don't know how to stop it. I don't know what I'm doing, but hopefully that does not become an issue. I really do wish I knew where that was coming from. But anyway, we have the battle. We have Mugun Kingdom attacking first. So let's see what kind of approach they're going to take. The interesting thing here is we have 5 mauls. This is the most mauls I've ever seen in a team. 5 mauls coming out from Mugun Kingdom. These guys are good at breaking formations. They are devastating with their big swings and hits. Damage galore, if I do say. A split between around about 4 heroes going towards the B-side wall. Only 5 responding on the B-side from EFF. EFF setup does seem to be kind of a heavy A split. About 6 guys actually on the B-side wall. Going to be pretty boring for the first section. Again, it's pretty predictable when you're playing on the Warthog map. Been played out quite a bit, but we got some Metallators here shooting the Hawatcher. Most interestingly, takes out a cannon in the back. Probably going to try to aim for the other artilleries much further behind. So let's see. Siege tower is moving across. The left-hand siege tower does get stalled. Right-hand siege tower goes down. Middle siege tower is still moving forward. The B side is not captured just yet. Wow, a rush towards the gate here. Very interesting. See, interesting play here. We're not seeing what's on the inside, but I do believe that there's going to probably be a massive fight here on the right-hand side stairs in a few seconds as the two teams rock up towards that section of the stairs. Gonna get stalled though. They don't force their way up the stairs. Mughal Kingdom is trapped on the inside. Not sure what to do right now. Mughal Kingdom is, whoa, coming down from the stairs. Probably a worst decision of your life. Imperial Pike Marchers coming out the wazoo, just devastating that defending Madao. Also, more guys rocking up. This is very interesting indeed. Mughal Kingdom has complete advantage here on the stairs, but can they make it all the way up? They're kind of getting stalled at the top, tippity top here. Not very many forces here at the top though, not from what I can see. But Mughal Kingdom does look to seem to have the absolute advantage towards the A point. The stairs there was no collapse on the stairs from behind. Well, I mean, I guess there was. We were looking at some leftover Madao getting cleaned up, but also a kind of bit of a scattered fight here. Chop, 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 and wow, Mughal Kingdom doing an amazing job, just crushing the token forces from EFF as they rock up. This is kind of a wipe, I think. EFF not doing too well in the team fights as Mughal Kingdom just seems to walk over them very easily. Mughal Kingdom is pulling back out, probably a good decision, as they also move up towards the B side. Lots of cavalry on the ground, probably predicting the response coming out from EFF as lots of cavalry has been deployed. With no infantry to contest them on the wall, the B side will be capped really easily. This is an interesting play, going straight in. Madao's Axe Raiders beating up some Madao's right now. Cleans up on this B side, and a wave of EFF collapse on a couple of units, just a couple of Madao's. Are we going to lose a couple of heroes? Yes, we do. We lose one, we lose two, we lose three heroes out from Mughal Kingdom. Mughal Kingdom getting caught here, probably trying to pick up. Wow, big pickup with a massive Treb in the rear there. That was nicely done, if I do say so. EFF actually does stop the B-side cap. B-side cap taking a little bit longer than I thought it would. Axe Raiders versus some Iron Reapers. Does look like the Axe Raiders just clean up that Iron Reaper, but that Iron Reaper probably did have a couple of fights. Getting caught on the backside, but a massive swing in units here for Mughal Kingdom. We're looking at 300 odd units up for Mughal right now, which is amazing for Mughal. But moving on to the second phase, not getting that B point was a little bit upsetting for Mugungan Kingdom, I believe. They're, they're setting up on the wall, which is interesting since they just came back. They just came back from a resupply, so I'm not sure why they're not confident in battling EFF on the ground, since they did kind of just kick their asses. Mugun Kingdom is some of the heroes from Mugun Kingdom just caught one or two units just now. Not sure if that was super effective. Getting some counter mortar fire. Whoa, Ballista is shooting up on the wall here. I think they just lost a Medal. They got some Matalators here on the wall, but not sure what they're going to do. Mugen Kingdom's second phase here is kind of strange to me. I'm not sure what they want to do, what they want to set up for. They're kind of falling behind in terms of initiative as they continue to wait. But we're rocking around with a couple of units on the ground now. The mortar's very... EFF choosing to put mortars very close to the palisade wall here in the center. So making use of the wall at the front is very good of EFF to try to maintain area. The less space the attackers have, the more advantages the defenders have. This is kind of brutal, if I do say so, for EFF. Kind of brutal for Mugen Kingdom. They don't have very much space. But saying that, they just absolutely cleaned up. They just absolutely cleaned up. Why did EFF go in like that? That was terrible. It was more like Mugung was waiting for EFF to make a mistake, and there it was, losing absolutely everything from the center. And now the supply point is kind of weakened, weakened and in a bad position since they're too far forward, and the center is completely gone. So that is that's happening. Mugen Kingdom trying to stall out some of the... Trying to stall out the supply, but I'm not sure why, since a lot of Mugen Kingdoms already booked it out of there. The B side is getting capped, though, so I think this is a good retreat, because Mugen Kingdom definitely timing things well. They got a lot of kills. They maintained their lead. I think they picked up a little bit, only a little bit, about 10, maybe 9-ish kills here. And looking closely, EFF is definitely... I'm not sure, actually. Whether or not EFF can still hold the C point is up to debate. We still have about 700 units, 1,000 units for Mugen Kingdom, and 700 units for the defenders. Whether or not the teams will still be able to compete against each other for 6 minutes 40 seconds is still to be seen. But I do think EFF is on their last leg again, with Mugen Kingdom swapping out the third time. We do have some Village Watchmen coming out, but I do believe some EFF will probably be seeing a lot more weaker units coming out. Imperial Pikes getting caught out in this position, absolutely awful, awful. But the Village Watchman walks up and saves the day, if I do say so. They are closing in. Well, they're making more space. EFF is kind of just throwing in lower tier units to stall out the time. Whether or not this is a good tactic, you're losing ground very slowly. You're not making a dent on these heavy infantry. Medals, lots of medals in front, and we have some Halberdier sergeants also supplementing the forces. Interesting to see that both. Oh, Why would you throw in your medallions like this? It's completely surrounded as well. Also, we got some Axe Raiders throwing from above. Iron Reapers are the ones that finish it off, though. Iron Reapers devastating the few units it had left. Yeah, that's gonna. I'm just gonna have to call it there. Looks like EFF is being aggressive when they don't need to, and Mugun Kingdom, they're just walking straight into Mugun Kingdom right here. Mugun Kingdom is completely ready for them. Unsupported Imperial Pike March will just end up in devastation, even though you'll see a lot of, what my face calls it, you'll see a lot of markers. Sorry, like, you get lots of numbers when you do an Imperial Pike March like that. Down to just 300 units. Not sure what I can say here. Just going to be surf units, and Mugen Kingdom is just going to wash right through them. C point gets captured, base point, C point gets captured, supply point gets captured. Mugen Kingdom is just going to ready up for the last assault. I'm wondering whether or not they're just going to bring out all their cavalry. We got a mortar shooting. If I was in their situation, I would have no idea what to do. You've already lost. You've already lost so many battles, and Mugen Kingdom has so much high tier infantry, so much, sorry, not the infantry, so much high tier units. What can you do in this situation? You are literally down to your surf unit. You're literally down to just village watchmen, metallurgs, and probably some farmers, woodcutters, and those kinds of things. What do you do? You're facing off against the strongest infantry, some Iron Reapers, Medaus. You got even the Halberdier Sergeants. Don't forget, Halberdier Sergeants are one of the few units that have stun on brace, so your units are completely worthless against those guys. Even though Mughal Kingdom has absolute advantage, they still come out with those grape shots. But I did see a Halberdier Sergeant, looks like an Imperial Pike, out from EFF. They still have some high tier units left, in fact. But it is too much as it gets completely decimated by the sheer number and weight of Mughal Kingdom. Just quality and quantity. When you can't beat them in quality, can't you want to use quantity, but in this case, you can't beat them in quality and you can't beat them in quantity. Mugen Kingdom just does a complete rout of the defending side. This is a wash, if I do say so. Just waiting for the last few seconds for Mugen Kingdom to capture the base point, and there we go. That is victory for Mugen Kingdom. Performance-wise, looking very closely. Top 10, I would say, the top 10 of the Mugen Kingdom doing very well, all performing above average, if I do. Just the bottom runger, just doing a little, just not doing enough, but probably coming in for the assist slash kill secure at the end. Performance on the unit side is a little bit lacking. Just let me close this off so you guys can see. Kills, ooh, very high. Very, very high. Expected to be high. It is expected to be high. Coming out from EFF, a couple of permadeath. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 permadeath. About half of them were permadeath. A lot of death. The spear user coming out from EFF still trying to do his best. Around about 4 kills, 482. A couple of EFF still performing well, but again, a lot of you can definitely tell in the unit kills and the unit kill score here that the advantage was definitely in Mugen Kingdom, winning most of those fights and just washing out the competition here. I'm not sure what they could have done. Not really much they could have done. So that is this. I don't think EFF's got much of a chance when it comes down to another wall fort. And this time we do get to see EFF attack, but after the showing of their defense, I don't think they have what it takes to win against Mugun Kingdom. Just my opinion. We might see something different, but EFF does not have a very strong showing, and Mugun Kingdom definitely does not have very much resistance when they are fighting. Every time they retreated on time. Every time they pushed with minimal casualties. In my mind, it's minimal casualties for what was there. Definitely could have been a better fight. Definitely could have executed it better. Especially that stair execution, too aggressive. When you were setting up for a squeeze, too aggressive. Again, a lot of times EFF is just low discipline and over aggressiveness in their defense. Maybe that aggressiveness will help them in their attack, but we will just have to wait to see. It's not the best of trait to have, especially when you're coming against Mugun Kingdom, which does have a much calmer and slower approach, definitely waiting for the enemy to make a mistake and then capitalizing on it. Definitely watching that happen. Not sure what they're saying. I could turn on the thing, but I think I better not. What are I should be hearing the clean feed, but I'm not sure if anything coming out of the clean feed. And again, with that ping sound, I do hope that's not annoying you guys. That would be very upsetting if it is. So we're just gonna wait for the next battle between Mugun Kingdom and EFF. Probably going to see that Mugun Kingdom is going to hold the defense, and probably either one of two things is going to happen. They go for an all-in A, or they crush them at C. I've even in situations where like Mugun Kingdom has absolute advantage, they still go with their tried and true. They'll probably still go with their tried and true tactic and let the enemy take A and B for free and defeat them at C. So we'll see a patient approach from Mugun Kingdom. Otherwise, if they're overconfident, they might just sally out. Probably what the first sally out in the tournament this season. Would be very surprised if someone actually decides to have the balls to sally out, especially since Medails exist. Sally outs have just been non-existent. I can't remember when the last sally out was. I think that was in season 5, maybe. No, season 6, Viking season. I don't know who it was for. Well, here we go for the next wall fort. This time EFF is going to attack. Wonder what kind of attack they have in stored. Probably not going to be, probably going to try their very best. Nonetheless, both teams are still in the CBL, and I do wish them luck. But against Mugu Kingdom, I don't think EFF has what it takes. We got a similar approach. We got about 4 guys going with the triple tier 4s. Again, with the interesting choice of interesting choice of having a tier 4, a tier 5, and a tier 2. I think it's a little bit of wasted resources, mainly because a tier 2 can barely compete against a tier 4, and it cannot compete against a tier 5 at all. I think this is going to be a brutal match, but a lot of people do it, so maybe they know something that I don't. Mugen Kingdom only having around about two. They only have two spears, two falls. They swapped out one of their moles for more short swords, so looking at the more tankier lineup of Mugen Kingdom instead. Mugen Kingdom has a lot of the Mugen Kingdom also going out with a lot of the tier 4, tier 5, tier 2, but they supplement their tier 2 with the Iron Cap Bow Cavalry, probably one of the more efficient units, definitely can provide some support, harassment, and again, probably could get more value out of them if you use them early. The thing about having bowcap cavalry is it's realistically the iron cap bowcap, the iron cap bow riders. The thing about those archery, cavalry archer units like those, it is very good at harassing. That's why the javelin cavalry, also the outrider cavalry, are extraordinarily good. Does look like B-side is captured. They rushed across Mugen Kingdom, going for the A-B sacrifice. Not surprising here. Again, I have said before that probably they will choose the approach of just holding at C, giving up on the B, and giving up on the other points. Not uncommon. Definitely not uncommon. See that happen. Well, EFF is claiming the A point now after a little bit of after capturing the B point. Mugen Kingdom also already massively retreated into their supply point. I'm just wondering what approach EFF is going to take. EFF should really think about their options carefully. Mugen Kingdom is probably expecting to end it here at C point, and I believe that Mugen Kingdom is banking on EFF making a mistake, so you should take advantage of Mugen Kingdom's patience and strike at their undefended point. Force them towards the C point. Force them by escalating towards the C. Pull them out of the supply point, and then strike the moment they go all in for the C point. We got some Metallitor fires coming out from Mugen Kingdom's supply point. Probably good pressure on the wall there. Not going to be able to build mortars quite safely, or your confidence in putting mortars up here will be greatly diminished. We got some ballistas as well. We did see yesterday that there was a heavy preference to tons of ballistas being used. Crazy amounts. EFF does cap a little bit. Whoa! Looks like someone just lost their horse. No, sorry, not lost their horse. The pike flicked them off. I keep forgetting that the pike has an instant dismount with the right click, so gotta be careful with that. Ballista's putting in some good pressure. A little bit of lag, if I do say so. Whoa, stagger, stagger, stagger. Unstable just a little bit. I hope you can bear with me. It's not just your stream, it is also my stream that is lagging. I think my processing is a little bit shaky. The skirmish continues. Very little losses on either side. About 10 units, maybe less. The ballista probably is becoming in handy. Mugen Kingdom actually makes a massive move towards the stairs section here. They're going to attempt to push EFF out. Going to take back the wall here as Mugen Kingdom probably had enough, thinking that they could take EFF out. The interesting thing here is whether or not EFF will take their... Whoa! EFF does take their invitation. Down goes Medals, and then down goes the Imperial Pikeman. Imperial Pikeman, wow. Maybe a catch, maybe a good catch. We got a grape shot here in the back. Flooding in, a little bit of a mess here at the front, on the front side of the gate here. Getting slapped just a little bit. A bit messy of a fight, actually. Axe Raiders clean up there on the left-hand side. We got some Palace Guards moving up. Not sure how long they will last. Axe Raiders will probably chop them up. But a split push between the C point and between the main gate. Mugen Kingdom getting caught out in this position, actually. The C point is getting capped. EFF does show their mettle here at the very last moment. Well, not the very last moment, but they show their mettle for sure. I'm not sure whether or not EFF will take it all the way to the base point, but they do have the C point. Mugen Kingdom is slow to react as their forward defense failed and backfired on them. Probably not what you want to see from Mugen Kingdom, but Mugen Kingdom is on a massive retreat away from the supply point. But a catch by some Medals, catch some retreating Medals, catch some transferring Medals. This is pretty awful for Mugen Kingdom as their advantage is being lost, but they did seem to have picked up units in the meantime. I didn't see quite catch when that was, so Mugen Kingdom is a little bit on the up, but whoa, Mugen Kingdom just slaughters 2 heroes. I'm not sure what's happening, but overstretching with EFF. EFF is getting caught out of position merely because they were moving out to catch the retreating Mugen Kingdom. But now the 2 teams are setting up for the final section. I mean, the finals. Whether or not Mugen Kingdom can hold the base point for 12 minutes, or whether or not EFF can take it from them, is a question on who's better. Does look like a lot more hero kills coming out from Mugen Kingdom. It could come down to permadeath. If it comes down to permadeath, EFF must make doubly sure that they win in the unit battle. You got to win one or the other. If you win in the unit battle, you pretty much win. If you win in the hero battle, you pretty much win. It is very difficult to fight 10 heroes when you're only 1 hero, and it is very difficult to fight 10 units when you only have 1 unit. Especially when the units are of different qualities, especially lower quality units, but it doesn't look like we are heading into that category right now. We just had a major fight at the beginning, so we still have 1 major fight with full tier units coming out. We got plenty of Medals, plenty of Fortebraccios, Axe Raiders, not Fortebraccios, Halberdier Sergeants, Axe Raiders, and Imperial Pikemen. EFF got to be super careful. They really want to take out as much as possible without losing anything. We've just lost quite a few units here on the top section. Really need to use that ballista. Really need to use those artillery. Does back off finally, getting shot to pieces by those Bocap Riders. I would actually have the Bocap Riders mass up here on the left-hand side on the floor instead of up here. Up here is not enough space. If you were going to go up here, I would push them right up against the wall, take the shots from the ballista, take the shots from the mortars, and just shoot back at them. It is a trade, and it's a good trade. This is basically a cannon fodder unit, and you should use it as such. But let's see how Mugen Kingdom uses their units. Does look like they want to keep them alive just as long as possible. We got a grape shot being deployed. Axe Raiders kind of screening in front. Not a massive engagement, just 1 or 2 units, but the Keshiks gets absolutely bodied by some Axe Raiders just charging in. I'm not sure whether or not I was wrong in which Axe Raiders they belong to. Imperial Pike gets blasted right through. Wrong direction. Winkasaz collapses on that Imperial Pike. Massive engagement kicks off, but already you can see EFF starts that off on a losing streak. One side is losing, one side is covering, and another side is moving up. Mughal Kingdom is going to wipe this left-hand flank, or the left-hand perspective from our side. Reinforcements here on the right-hand side, but the left-hand side's just about to break through. You really got to turn this Medal around. You really got to force them into the fight. Imperial Pike March on the left-hand side. I mean, on on the current battle is working. Right-hand side is going to get a rear charge. Medal's lethal march. So many Medals coming right up here on the stairs. Can this be a huge Treb? Probably bring back a couple of unit kills, but otherwise, I don't think EFF's got anything left in the tank to fight Mughal Kingdom. Look, even though that Treb was massive, look how many Medals they have left. Look how many Axe Raiders. Look how many Tundra humans. That was a massive pickup for Mughal Kingdom. Almost no, an additional 100 unit swing. It was not actually not that massive, but 3 sets of units, about four units pickup for Mughal Kingdom here. Not looking good at all for EFF, but EFF still has probably just enough units to make an assault. Whether or not it's going to be good or not, gonna have to really rely on my eyes here. EFF has not had very good showing. The battles have started off really shocking for EFF. It comes down to how they are baited into an engagement, especially if the engagement is bad. The right-hand side started off really strangely. Both sides were skirmishing, and then Mughal Kingdom just collapses on them. And then when the full-off engagements are kicked off, both sides, the EFF created areas of spheres of influence where they didn't require it. They had no strategy once they were up onto this platform. Mughal Kingdom just ate them up from the east, from the east to the west, trying to control the eastern stairs here for EFF. Probably the stairs furthest away from the supply point. I'm wondering whether or not we have one permadeath. Is that real? We have some tenant farmers on the base point. Probably just probably going to guard that area. Make sure just take any free shots. We have about 6 trebs left, and I think we might have a permadeath from EFF. EFF not doing too hot. This is very wasteful for a treb to go for the siege weapon now. But that is brutal. Finally. If that did not get destroyed, my goodness. Hello, Irons. How are you doing? We're watching Mughal Kingdom basically wipe the floor with EFF. Don't be deceived by the fact that Mughal Kingdom has been pushed towards the base point. Mughal Kingdom has all of the advantages right now. They're getting hit a little bit, but I'll tell you right now, Mughal Kingdom definitely has the quality and the quantity of units on their side. They have won basically every single engagement against EFF except one. So to clear that up just a little bit, Mughal Kingdom came out on top twice, while EFF came out on top once. So as you can see right now, there's a little bit of unit deficit for EFF. EFF does catches the Tundra humans roaming around, but whether or not that will change the result, well, let's see if they can push that advantage. Wow, the left-hand side just completely get crushed, apparently. Or not. What is happening? I don't know what's happening here on this eastern stairs. It's a little bit far. Winged Tundra humans just plow right through the center here. Winged Hussar is going to plow right through the back. My goodness. Mughal King, when I thought Mughal King was going to lose a trade, they instantly closes in on a different side and absolutely claps it. Burcap Riders in the back. What you gonna do? Medals really need to get to the front. There's no point reserving your units. Get to the front and save the day. You gotta win on one of the battlefields. Otherwise, you're gonna lose them all. Absolutely surrounded here. We got 5 heroes coming out from EFF, surrounded with just the Medals and Keshigs. But here comes some Tundra humans aiming for the heroes. Now, Winged Hussars coming around the corner. This is gonna be... Winged Hussars eats it really hard around the corner. Ineffective charge, not enough run up. This is going to be a manslaughter for the last few minutes as Mugen Kingdom will not let go of their advantage right now. 400 units up. This is absolutely brutal. Oh, I was awake since 10 p.m. That is pretty brutal, Irons. I do hope you can get some sleep shortly. This battle, I think this is pretty much over. Mugen Kingdom definitely wiping the floor with EFF. EFF doing their best is all they can do. I do hope we get to see them next season, but right now Mugen Kingdom does kick them out of the tournament. I do have to say though, Mugen Kingdom, oh my goodness, um, during the Sea Hold, Mugen Kingdom moved up. Biggest mistake. Biggest mistake. They moved up and then they turned around. It was a massive, massive catch. EFF, masterfully done. Oh, well, not masterfully done, but good job at seizing that opportunity. Mugen Kingdom screwed up. They were patient a lot of times. When they went on the aggressive this time, very good catch. Unfortunately, here, Mugen Kingdom went back into the patient hunter and waited for EFF to make a mistake, catching EFF when they were weak. When realistically, EFF should have caught Mugen Kingdom when they were weak. They have all the initiative and should definitely have the advantage when choosing and picking fights. But defense as well has the opportunity of choosing and picking fights, but they do have some points they have to defend. The base point for other has to be defended, and some key points where you can pressure and force the enemy to react in certain ways. But with that said, everything is done and dusted. We have Mugen Kingdom winning in a 2-0 victory. So let's have a look at the score for a little second. EFF going out with permadeath for days. We got 1, 2, 3 that are not permadeath. That means 12 people permadeath by the end of that. Very little hero kills, but the spear doing very well. We got a spear with 4. We got 3 other guys with 2 hero kills. Not too bad, but again, the hero kills have to go for Mugen Kingdom here. Look at those hero kills. These guys, same with Tessa, very ruthless in their hero killing potential. And this time they're not even using spears. We see so many moles. Absolutely devastating for EFF. Sorry, not absolutely devastating. Devastating EFF with the strength of the mole. Mole is still kind of in a strange power balance where it's too strong in certain circumstances, and when those circumstances line up for the mole, they absolutely crush it. They absolutely crush it, meaning that they are OP as heck, in my opinion, that is. But Mugen Kingdom, again, look at the unit kill score. It is quite high. We are nearly, if not every single one of them is over 350. 350 is half of your warband. When half of your warband is gone, you're basically down to your last unit. And when you get the 700 mark, you're already performing above and beyond anyone else. Because when you get that 700, that is someone's warband. You have just killed someone's warband. But that is all for tonight. We got to see 2 sets of battles. I'll go over them yet again, just really quickly. We got to watch GNG versus Tessa, both on Wall Fort. We got to watch both Tessa and GNG win their defense, if I recall correctly. Well, but we had an amazing, I'm not sure if that was correct though, but we had an amazing field battle at the very end there where GNG really pulled the rug underneath Tessa, claiming the victory with both teams going in for an all-in base point cap on the field battle, the tiebreaker. Then we watched the Mugun Kingdom versus EFF. EFF, unfortunately, losing both their attack and defense and letting Mugun Kingdom win a 2-0. But I congratulate EFF at their attack, being able to capitalize on the mistakes of Mugun Kingdom during the C point defense, but in the end could not claim victory on the base point and was subsequently pushed out by Mugun Kingdom through skill and efficiency with units. With that said and done, we do get to see what our next battles are going to be tomorrow night. We get to see QJ versus CBL, and we get to see Crusaders versus Xeon. Been a while since I've seen a Crusader versus Xeon, but then again, Xeon's not very good. Well, the last time I saw Xeon, that is. But that is all for tonight. I hope to catch you. Wait, sorry. We only get to watch one match tomorrow, which is the QJ versus CBL. Bit sad, but sorry. My mistake. We get to watch QJ versus CBL tomorrow night at 8 o'clock on the 9th of December. So that's tomorrow night. On Friday night, we get to watch Crusaders versus Xeon, and then later that night at 9 o'clock, we get to watch Northern Legion versus TKT. So that is actually the QJ versus CBL is the last of the elimination rounds. These are going to those the Crusader versus Xeon match is the first of the semi-quarterfinals, I believe. Yeah, that is the semi-quarterfinals where we get the top 8 get cut into the quarterfinals and then finally into the semi-finals and then the finals where where you have the we have the winners bracket and the losers bracket. With all that said and done now, I can just say my closing statement, but I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Other than that, my name's Azakai, and have a nice day. Bye now.